Maverick 100.9, Aggieland's country alternative. It's Corliss. It's a cool day for me because I have been talking to James Robert Webb on Zoom for how long now?
Oh, gosh. What?
Almost 2 years.
That's right. It seems like since we were little kids now.
And anytime we get to see each other, well, we don't see each other on a screen. We get to talking about a million different things because I think you are an anomaly and you are so cool. So he walked in my building this morning or this afternoon and I said, what's up, Dr. James? Because you are a doctor.
Yeah, that's right. I am.
Doctor / country singer. And how is both of those going for you right now since last time we checked in?
Busy, both of them,
Yeah.
The only problem is my medical practice has, had like several record months lately. So I'm having to change out of my scrubs and strap on a guitar and go sing. It's like it's getting busier. Yeah.
You need to start documenting that. Like that would make great TikToks.
I think, yes, right. But the problem is I don't have time to tape it. Like, I've got to find, I've just got to hire a teenager to tape it and edit it. We're actually in talks about doing a pilot for a docuseries about my life because it's kind of interesting. With a production crew, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I would be the first one to watch that.
I'm not a big reality show fan, but
right.
It is very interesting what I do. Like, yesterday, I'm seeing patients and, I'm injecting glue in people's spines that's broken,
right?
For example, and have their life in my hands, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And today I'm, in
Texas.
I'm in Texas on a radio station talking about the new single and the music career and everything, which kind of blows me away. I didn't ever think it would take off like this.
Right. Isn't that great, though? That makes it, well,
great.
It couldn't happen to a better person.
Oh, well, you.
I adore you.
Oh.
Well, speaking of that new single, just in time for the World Series, Stealing Home is the new one. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Stealing Home, man. When I first heard that one, I just knew I wanted to cut it because it's just everybody can relate to it. I mean, it resonated with me, and we recorded this, I think, in 2019 and released this album last year.
Yeah.
And that was pre-pandemic, right? And now to think about, I lost my mother in June.
Yeah.
And everybody that we've lost and, how the world's changed and, just like we were talking about, we're Zooming now.
Yeah.
So many things have been stolen from us. It just means there's so many more dimensions to the song even after the pandemic. It's just kind of crazy. And that's kind of been the way that most of the songs I've released off this album have been. It's kind of weird. Good time waiting to happen.
Yep.
Everybody is dying to get back for live music.
I remember having that conversation.
Exactly. Right.
Well, it is good to at least have you out and about, and I'm super excited to release some new music to our listeners here. So you're hearing it first on Maverick 100.9. This is Stealing Home, James Robert Webb. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you here in podcast form, but we do urge you to go to your favorite downloading and streaming platforms and pick it up today. Today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9, Stealing Home, James Robert Webb. You just heard it here first. I finally get to talk to Dr. James. Does anybody else call you that, or is that just me?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Anybody who's not your patient, does anybody?
No, I think Corliss has coined that phrase. I like it. Yeah. It's
I always
J.
do the...
I've got Doc Webb, Dr. Webb. Yeah,
Doc
Dr.
Webb.
James, that's good. Yeah, I love it.
I do too. Well, I'm so glad to hear that things have been working out great for you. And I know that everybody who's listening likes your music. They can get your full album. You can download, stream it now. But what's going on in the future? We're coming up on the end of the year.
We are.
And everything that you've released off of this album has been during a pandemic.
Right.
So do you have any foreseeable plans that we need to know about?
Yeah, that's a good question. It is interesting because usually you drop an album and you like to go tour it so people can listen to it. So I think when we get out there and I'm working on my next album, which will be my 5th studio album. So I was thinking this morning, it's going to be we're going to be playing songs from the new album and from this last album and introducing them to the crowds when we're as music's coming back live.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing out at shows we've been playing this summer. So it's just kind of been spotty so far, but hopefully it's building back up as far as the live music goes.
Oh, I totally get that. So there you go. Get prepped for when James Robert Webb is coming around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you're going to be touring even more next year.
Right.
Hopefully a lot more here in Texas.
Absolutely.
We love
Especially
you up in
College
Oklahoma,
Stationery.
but yeah, we need to hear.
I love this part of the country.
So go get his music now and keep an eye out. Where can we follow you?
Yeah, so I mean, you can search me online, James Robert Webb. I'm in like the first 20 things, but jamesrobertwebb.com, WEBB, or any Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It's exactly James Robert Webb, WEBB. And they're all verified, so it's easy. Like, look for the blue check mark.
Blue check, you got him.
Instagram's where I'm most active.
Right.
So be sure to message me if you're on one of those platforms and tell me you heard me here.
Yeah.
Maverick, baby.
We always tell our listeners, when we do these interviews, we do them each and every day. This is how we get music out to you. We always ask them to text us. Let us know if you like what you hear. That's all you got to say.
Yeah. I mean,
this is your radio station.
If you're listening on the Maverick and you hear me, James Robert Webb, right now, just get on your Instagram and DM me and all. Tell me your T-shirt size and tell me you heard me on the Maverick, and I'll send you one.
Well, thank you so
Limited
much.
to the first 20 million.
You think I got 20 million listeners? That's cute. I love y'all. The 5 of you.
The royal you.
The royal you. Well,
I've got enough names for that. I didn't even put the junior or the MD on the end. It's just James Robert Webb. So.
Oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. It's already hard trying to say the full 3.
That's right. Sound like an assassin.
Dr. Assassin, James Robert Webb, Jr., MD, on Maverick. Thank you so much for coming all the way to Texas to finally see us.
Absolutely. I'd love it. I appreciate your support, and thanks to all the Maverick listeners out there that have been streaming it here, because I know you guys are. We can see it online, which is so awesome. So thank you, and hopefully we'll be coming to play soon.
Yes.